Hello everyone, I am back today for day 21 of my 30-day tidying challenge. This is a challenge that I created a couple of years ago based on Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. The update for day 21 is going to come right now at the beginning of the video, and today we're going to be tackling toys, games, and puzzles. I have a couple of small updates that actually feel pretty significant to me. The first is that I really haven't touched a lot of our toys and puzzles and plushies in the past couple of years, but there were two exceptions to this. First is that I've started using my tarot deck very frequently for moon planning, and that is super exciting to me because I've had this deck of cards for probably upwards of 2 decades, and I haven't really gotten a whole lot of use out of them, but they've made it through many declutters, and to finally find a use for them, a regular use every 2 weeks, it just feels amazing. They've added a lot of value to my life because pulling a tarot card and reading the meaning, it very much helps with my mindset and my moon planning ceremony. So that has been wonderful. The second and last update before we jump right into the footage is that I have done one of the puzzles that I've had for, again, almost 2 decades. I finished a 3,000 piece puzzle, an antique map of the world, because I love antique maps, and it was just such a joy to be able to work on the puzzle every day. I always looked forward to it. I would do a bit at a time. I ended up getting it done in 2 weeks, and it felt like a really good pace. I didn't feel like I was rushing through it, and it also didn't feel like it was dragging on. That was kind of like the perfect amount of time for me to be working on the puzzle. It is done now, and I am so happy to have actually put one of my puzzles to good use. Now to find the time and the space to do the 5,000 piece puzzle and eventually the mammoth 9,000 piece puzzle. So that is going to be it for the update for this video. Now let's jump right into the footage that I recorded a couple of years ago. We're gonna have some fun today because we'll be tidying toys, games, and puzzles. I'm also putting stuffed animals and plushies in this category. I am a big proponent of play even in your adult life. Games, toys, puzzles, etc. are not just for children. Grown-ups need it too. And I am a huge fan of all things play related. When I was working full-time, I relied on play a lot to de-stress. And now that I'm not working full-time, I rely on play even more, but to spark my creative energy. I had so much fun going through this category today. I used to have a ton of stuffed animals and plushies, but when I attempted the KonMari method around 4 years ago, I let go of the majority of them. The only ones I kept were ones that I had a sentimental attachment towards, or of course the ones that sparked joy. Going through the plushies again this time around, I was able to set aside a couple that I didn't really feel anything towards. When my hubby comes home though, we are going to take a look at the sentimental plushies that I've set aside. These items we did acquire together, so I'd like to go through them together and make a joint decision on whether or not we want to keep it or let it go. I'm actually fine either way. I don't feel too strongly one way or the other, so I'm happy to have him make that decision. I felt really good tidying today. I was able to let go of a lot of things without too much attachment. Even items that had sparked a lot of joy in the past but had kind of lost their sizzle, I was able to thank those items for being well used and just let them go. I'm only keeping a few games, but the ones I am keeping do spark joy. For example, Scrabble and Boggle. I'm a big wordaholic. I just love words. So any game that involves words, I am a huge fan of. So I'm definitely hanging on to those 2 games. As well, I am hanging on to the majority of my puzzles. Throughout my entire life, I have loved puzzles, but due to lack of space, lack of time, and the presence of pets, I have not attempted any of my huge puzzles that I've always wanted to do. This is going to be a little bit of a longer chit-chatty type video in the tidying series, but when I was little, I had this puzzle of the world. It was like an antique map puzzle. I had several of these, maybe 2 or 3 of these, and I loved them so much. I would constantly be completing one and then breaking it up and completing it again on repeat. I just don't tire of puzzles. When I started working full-time, some of the first things I bought to treat myself were these antique world map puzzles. I used to have around 5 of these, but I've sold a couple of them. The 3 that I have remaining I've never opened, and one that I sold I actually never opened. But these 3 puzzles are on my bucket list. I am going to put them on my 101 in 1001 list as soon as I stop recording this video, because I am going to do these puzzles. I've had them for probably almost 2 decades, and the 9,000 piece mammoth puzzle in particular is something that I definitely want to do in this lifetime. It sparks so much joy to see this puzzle, yet it brings about so much sadness that I've had this puzzle for so long and I haven't done it yet. I've been thinking about this for a long time, even before I started tidying today, and one of the things that I wanted to do today was take out a measuring tape and see exactly how big this puzzle is in its completed state and whether I have room in this condo for it. I've even thought about taking a 1-month sabbatical somewhere and renting out a studio apartment or whatnot so I could do this puzzle. This is how much this puzzle weighs on my mind, and I know it sounds kind of strange and maybe a little bit ridiculous, but it's just one of those things that I want to do. In the end, I was able to let go of a few items, not too many, but I do want to keep a lot of options for play in my arsenal, especially for my gap year where I intend to spend a lot of time playing. That is going to be it for today's very long-winded video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know down below if you're a big fan of play and what types of play you enjoy. Whether you like to go outside, whether you want to stay home with a board game, whether you like to play games online or on your phone. I would love to hear a little bit about how you unwind or perhaps call up that youthful spirit that we all have inside us. Today was perhaps one of my favorite tidying days besides the sock day and besides the makeup day. Socks and makeup though, I really enjoyed more for the organizational aspect and for the feeling of accomplishment. Today was really a feeling of youthfulness, of energy, of possibility, of tapping into that child within me and to that creativity that's bubbling up all the time now. Today really sparked that zest for life though that I hope we all share. Thank you again so much for watching this video and for your continued interest in this series. I will be back tomorrow on day 22 to tidy a similar type of category. There was actually some overlap between today and tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be tidying recreational items, luggage, and travel items. By recreational items, I mean camping gear, items that you may use for outdoor sports like tennis rackets and the like. We still have a number of items in this category. A few of them I went through today, like the frisbee, my husband's baseball glove, those scoopy things, and that ball that you can throw to one another. These types of items can be toys or recreational items. I decided to tidy them today with toys. Tomorrow we'll be focusing on the rest of my recreational items, including camping supplies. I will see you in tomorrow's video. Until then, please take care and bye for now.